In the Warm Studios, so we have Anita Pinjur with us from AreYouReallyWinning.com. And also, you're the executive director of a recovery facility in northern, in the Chicago suburbs. Talk about, maybe people have seen the commercials, the billboards, and heard the radio ads. What is Are You Really Winning? What is the goal of that organization?
Thank you. So Are You Really Winning is really emphasizing awareness, education, and promotion for help if help is necessary for gambling use disorders, and just anything around gambling education. So youth, making sure that we know what age limits there are, and if you do need help, that we are available with help.
The horse is kind of out of the barn already as far as gambling in Illinois. Are you trying to bring it back in and abolish gambling in the state?
No. So, gambling has been in the state of Illinois for a long time. Originally, the way back in, the organization I work for has started providing treatment in the year 2000. So we've been providing treatment for a very long time. And what we want to do through this campaign is just make people aware that treatment is available, recovery is possible, and then just learning tools and skills if you do need to slow down, stop gambling, or if you're not old enough to gamble.
Well, you mentioned youth earlier.
Yes.
Is that a real trend you're seeing in that young? What defines youth? What age bracket are you talking about here?
So, for legal purposes, in order to buy a lotto ticket, it's 18,
right.
21 to gamble in any other forms, up to and including sports betting. But we are seeing a lot of younger and younger kids engaging, up to and including high school students and definitely college students. So what we want to make sure is that everybody has the ability to really secure their future. And so we have a sub-campaign called Don't Bet Your Future, making sure that parents, guardians, coaches, and youth understand the risk and implications of gambling when they're not old enough.
How do friends or family members identify if someone in their circle has a gambling problem? It's not like an alcohol problem where you can clearly see sometimes, not like a drug addiction.
Well, even with those, right, it's sometimes not as clear. However, often with gambling, we do refer to it as a silent addiction. It is very driven by finance and money, and it is much easier to hide, right? We can't really smell it, we can't really see it. So we look for other clues. A lot of those are financial. A lot of those are when gambling becomes kind of an obsession. When we see, kind of gambling more and more, spending less time with the family, with people you like, with your friends, and really definitely struggling with work and school. So when grades drop, school performance drops, and we yet see kind of that commitment to gambling, that's when we start asking, are you really winning?
And you start to see the financial hardships that can really tax the rest of the family too.
Yes. Very often we do see those financial struggles, and those do affect the whole entire family.
As I mentioned, you are with the campaign AreYouReallyWinning.com, but you have been an executive director of the Way Back in suburban Chicago, the western suburbs.
Yes.
Have you seen an influx of gambling addiction cases, particularly since Illinois legalized gambling?
We definitely have since 2019 when sports betting became legalized. We have definitely seen about a 30% increase in persons with sports betting addictions. So we are there to treat everyone. And it's very normal to see an increase when something becomes new. So we are definitely there to provide that help. So we're really just concerned. Very few people sometimes get help because they don't know the help is available.
That's true.
So when you go to AreYouReallyWinning.com, there's a survey. People can take a screener, and then help is available immediately on that site.
I don't know if you can answer this one, but part of dealing with an addiction is realizing you have one.
Yes.
Any kind of addiction.
Yes.
Are you noticing, do gamblers come forward more or less frequently than people with other forms of addiction like alcohol or drugs?
I think with awareness and education and knowing that it's there, people are more likely to come forward quicker. It also kind of progresses very quickly. We can spend a lot more money on alcohol over a longer period of time. Gambling does take a lot of money really quickly, so
Yes,
you
it does.
start noticing problems much sooner.
Okay. Are there treatment facilities? You're in the Chicago Western Burbs. Are there treatment facilities? Are there organizations in north central Illinois, northwestern Illinois that deal with the gambling addiction?
So we have facilities across the whole entire state. There is about 30 facilities in the whole entire state of Illinois. There is more education being done by the Illinois Council on Problem Gambling. So doctors, nurses, and other therapists have much more experience with it. And then many facilities are also doing telehealth, so you can have remote therapy when necessary.
And so it isn't necessarily you're in an institution or in a recovery program for where you can't work, you can't continue. It's just something you do on as well as.
Most of the therapy in the state of Illinois is on an outpatient basis, and so you would see somebody for groups, for individual sessions, so maybe twice a week, maybe once a week. You continue working, you continue living at home.
Okay. All right, so Are You Really Winning? That's kind of the resource for all of this for people if they feel they have a gambling problem or if their friends or relatives feel they have a gambling problem. That's a great place to start, right?
That is a wonderful place to start, areyoureallywinning.com, and that will lead you to resources, screeners, and treatment available in the state of Illinois.
I would imagine it's becoming more and more widespread as sports gambling, as well as we've been playing lottery games for years now. Is it becoming a bigger problem in the state?
We definitely want to make sure that people who need help are getting help, so we're raising that awareness, and I think as we raise that awareness, we're going to see how many more people represent. However, in 2020, there was a study done by the state of Illinois, and it did show that about 400,000 people are diagnosed with gambling use disorders.
In the state alone?
In the state
400,000 in Illinois.
Yes.
That's larger than the greater Rockford area, but easily.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have people who are at risk as well. So about 1 million people all in all in the state of Illinois who could benefit from education, help, and resources.
And okay, well, that is some eye-opening numbers there. Thank you very much, Anita. Once again, if you think you have a problem with gambling or you know someone who might have a problem with gambling, Are You Really Winning is the name of the organization. You can call the 800 number. It is 1-800-GAMBLER, or you can go to their website, areyoureallywinning.com, for help, for treatment, for ideas to kind of limit or break your habit, right?
Yep.
It's all there at areyoureallywinning.com. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you.
We'll be